Letters of Swami Vivekananda, the new edition in 4 volumes. Letter number 488, addressed to Miss Mary Hale, Almora, India, 9th July 1897. Dear sister, I am very sorry to read between the lines the desponding tone of your letter, and I understand the cause. I must, to begin with, thank you for your warning. I understand your motive perfectly. I had arranged to go with Ajit Singh to England, but the doctors not allowing, it fell through. I will be so happy to learn that Harriet has met him. He will be only too good to see any of you. I had also a lot of cuttings from different papers of America fearfully criticizing my utterances about American women. Footnote: Mrs. Bull's interview, given in response to the lies spread by Dr. Barrows upon his return from India to America, published in Chicago Inter-Ocean, 26 July 1897, page 10, reads in part: As seen by a Hindu, Swami Vivekananda's views on American women. Extracts from letters. The well-known monk speaks only words of praise. Beautiful homes seen in the United States, the Parliament of Religions. Mrs. Ole Bull of Cambridge, Massachusetts, has furnished for publication the following extracts from letters written by Swami Vivekananda, who attracted so much attention at the Parliament of Religions in 1893. This publication is sought as the best means of showing the views which this learned and eloquent Hindu monk has expressed in regard to American homes, American women, and the English speaking race. It is not the building that makes the home, but it is the wife that makes it. Tribute to American women. American women. 100 lives would not be sufficient to pay my deep debt of gratitude to you. The Oriental hyperbole alone expresses the depth of Oriental gratitude. Extracts from Swamiji's letter to Raja Ajit Singh, dated 28th February 1894. Essentials of Vedantism. By way of comment on these extracts, Mrs. Bull says, those who know and have studied the Vedanta philosophy with Vivekananda understand that Vedantism clearly consists in the essentials, apart from the sectarianism of the Hindu, that it is too broad and basic for propagandism, but rather, to use his own words, it is slow and silent as the gentle dew that falls in the morning, unseen and unheard, yet producing permanent results, and thus our calm, patient, all-suffering race affects the world of thought. Vivekananda declines all organization, but desires that such centers for study and life as his special assistants shall form in India, shall assist the masses to secular as well as spiritual knowledge. The German schools, the English Orientalists, and our own Emerson testify to the fact that it is literally true that the Vedantic thought pervades the Western thought of today. And it is in this sense only that Vivekananda could mean that thousands in the West are Vedantists, a philosophy able to include sectarians, footnote ends, and furnishing me with the astounding news that I was outcasted, as if I had any caste to lose being a sannyasi. Not only no caste has been lost, but it has almost shattered the opposition among Orthodox Hindus to sea voyages, my going to the West. If I have to be outcasted, I will have to be so with half the ruling princes of India and almost all of educated India. On the other hand, a leading Raja of the caste to which I belonged before my entering the order publicly got up a banquet in my honor, in which were most of the big bugs of that state. We sannyasins, on the other hand, do not dine with anyone in India, as beneath the dignity of gods to dine with mere mortals. We are Narayanas, they are men. And dear Mary, these feet have been washed and wiped and worshipped by the descendants of 100 kings, and there has been a progress through the country which none ever commanded before in India. It will suffice to say that the police are necessary to keep order if I venture out into the street. That is outcasting indeed. Of course, that took the starch out of the missionaries. And who are they here? Nobody's. We are in blissful ignorance of their existence all the time. I had in a lecture said something about the missionaries and the origin of the species, except the English church gentlemen, and in that connection had to say something of the very churchy women of America and their power of inventing scandals. This the missionaries are parading as an attack on American women en masse to undo my work there, as they well know that anything said against themselves will rather please the United States public. Now, my dear Mary, supposing I had said all sorts of fearful things against the Yanks, would that be paying off a millionth part of what they say of our mothers and sisters? Neptune's waters would be perfectly useless to wash off the hatred the Christian Yanks of both sexes bear to us heathens of India. And what harm have we done them? Let the Yanks learn to be patient under criticism and then criticize others. It is a well known psychological fact that those who are ever ready to abuse others cannot bear the slightest touch of criticism from others. Then again, what do I owe them? Except your family, Mrs. Bull, the legates, and a few other kind persons. Who else has been kind to me? Who came forward to help me work out my ideas? I had to work till I am at death's door, and had to spend nearly the whole of that energy in America so that they may learn to be broader and more spiritual. In England, I worked only 6 months. There was not a breath of scandal save one, and that was the working of an American woman, which knowledge greatly relieved my English friends. Not only no attacks, but many of the best English church clergymen became my firm friends, and without asking, I got much help for my work, and I am sure to get much more. There is a society watching my work and getting help for it, and four respectable persons allowed me to India to help my work, braving everything, and dozens were ready. And the next time I go, hundreds will be. Dear, dear Mary, do not be afraid for me. The Americans are big people only to European hotel keepers and millionaires, and in their own estimation. The world is big, very big, and there must be some place for me, even if the Yankees rage. Anyhow, I am quite satisfied with my work. I never planned anything. I have taken things as they come. Only one idea was burning in my brain to start the machine for elevating the Indian masses, and that I have succeeded in doing to a certain extent. It would have made your heart glad to see how my boys are working in the midst of famine and disease and misery, nursing by the mat bed of the cholera stricken Pariha and feeding the starving Chandala that is untouchable. And the Lord sends help to me and to them all. What are men? He is with me, the beloved, as he was when I was in America, in England, when I was roaming about unknown from place to place in India. What do I care about what they say? The babies, they do not know any better. What? I, who have realized the spirit and the vanity of all earthly nonsense, to be swerved from my path by babies' prattle? Do I look like that? I have to talk a lot about myself because I owe it to you. I feel my task is done. At best, 3 or 4 years more of life is left. I have lost all wish for my salvation. I never wanted earthly enjoyments. I must see my machine in strong working order. And then, knowing sure that I have put in a lever for the good of humanity, in India at least, which no power can drive back, I will sleep without caring what will be next. And may I be born again and again and suffer thousands of miseries so that I may worship the only God that exists, the only God I believe in, the sum total of all souls, and above all, my God the wicked, my God the miserable, my God the poor of all races, of all species, is the special object of my worship. He who is in you and outside of you, who works through every hand, who walks through every foot, whose body you are, him worship and break all other idols. He who is the high and the low, the saint and the sinner, the God and the worm, him worship, the visible, the knowable, the real, the omnipresent, break all other idols. In whom there is neither past life nor future birth nor death, nor going or nor coming, in whom we always have been and always will be one. Him worship and break all other idols. Ay, fools, neglecting the living gods and his infinite reflection with which the world is full, and running after imaginary shadows. Him worship the only visible and break all other idols. My time is short. I have got to unbreast whatever I have to say, without caring if it smarts some or irritates others. Therefore, my dear Mary, do not be frightened at whatever drops from my lips. For the power behind me is not Vivekananda, but He, the Lord, and He knows best. If I have to please the world, that will be injuring the world. The voice of the majority is wrong, seeing that they govern and make the sad state of the world. Every new thought must create opposition, in the civilized, polite sneer, or in the vulgar, savage howls and filthy scandals. Even these earthworms must stand up erect. Even children must see light. The Americans are drunk with new wine. 100 waves of prosperity have come and gone over my country. We have learned the lesson which no child can yet understand. It is vanity. This hideous world is Maya. Renounce and be happy. Give up the ideas of sex and possessions. There is no other road. Marriage and sex and money are the only living devils. All earthly love proceeds from the body, body, body. No sex, no possessions. As these fall off, the eyes open to spiritual visions. The soul regains its own infinite power. How I wish I were in England to see Harriet. I have one wish left, to see you four sisters before I die, and that must happen. Yours ever affectionately, Vivekananda. Om Tat Sat.